Hello and welcome to the Vibe to 315 podcast. I'm Cam.
And I'm Emily, and we have to start by reviewing some recent Syracuse basketball games. So, previous games from last week, we're going to talk about the Syracuse versus NC State. At the time, they were number 23 ranked, so very good team. Syracuse surprisingly won. It was a close one with a final score of 75-72.
The player of the game of that game was the player of the game of that game. That's a weird sentence. Sorry. Was Judah Mintz. He had 20 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, and played 39 minutes. So overall, a great game from Judah. He's continuing his freshman season, playing amazing. Some other key contributors from that game are Chris Bell. He had 11 points, 3 rebounds, in 34 minutes. So CB really played a lot that game. It was good to see. And Malik Brown had 10 points, 6 rebounds in 37 minutes.
Jesse Edwards played well. He had 18 points, 16 rebounds, 4 blocks, and he played all 40 minutes. And Joe Girard had 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and he played 37 minutes. So we saw a lot of the guys play well that game. Someone who didn't do that much was Benny Williams. He only played 2 minutes, but he did get 3 points.
Yep. Some notes from this game was that NC State's DJ Burns Jr., their center, fouling out helped us a lot, especially at the end of the game. He fouled out, I would say probably with 5 minutes left in the second half. That really helped us. It seemed like once he fouled out, we have a lot of momentum on our side. So I was glad to see him out of the game.
Yeah, that definitely helped Syracuse clutch that win. Benny Williams is still not playing well. It wasn't just this game. It's been most of the games. And like that, his playing this year has been very disappointing. We had such high expectations from him being such a high recruit last year. And like that, this is a young team. So we thought he'd be a little bit more of a leader, but he just hasn't lived up to those expectations, unfortunately. And like that, he doesn't even start anymore. Malik Brown's taken his starting position. But this was our first win against a ranked opponent since the 2020-2021 season, the COVID year. And it's the first time the team really looked cohesive and all the starters played well. So it was good to watch them play that game.
Yeah, definitely. Like Emo said, Malik Brown getting the starting job definitely deserves it. Been playing very well, like we've been saying, and I'm glad he's been out there. And like that, all the starters played well. That's what we need to beat a ranked team like NC State. And look what happened. We beat them. Also, some big news in Syracuse. Jesse Edwards is now officially the best three-point shooter on our team. He is 1-for-1 in his career with a 100% three-point percentage. He hit a 3 against NC State. Nothing but net drained. Everybody went crazy. So Jesse Edwards, 100% from the 3. So
That
you
was
love to see
awesome
that.
to see.
Let's talk about Syracuse's joke of a performance versus Duke. And I say joke of a performance because it was horrible. They played awful. The final score was
Yeah.
77-55. The player of the game of that game was Joe Girard, and he and Judah were the only two that played good. The rest of them played horrible.
Yep.
But Joe had 21 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound in 35 minutes. And then covering Judah, who actually had a good game too, he had 18 points, 1 assist, 3 steals, and he was 2 for 2 from three-point land. So Judah's starting to make them threes.
Love to see it. Some other stats of not so great players this game was Jesse Edwards only had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and he played 37 minutes. So usually we see a lot more from Jesse, but he was being heavily guarded. So Malik Brown, 6 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. He also had a block, and he played 30 minutes. And Benny Williams with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 14 minutes.
Yeah, going back to Jesse's game, it seemed like whenever he got the ball in the post, literally 4 guys would go over and guard him, and he would end up turning the ball over most of the time. So very frustrating. I know Jesse's been one of our guys that we've leaned on, and he couldn't do much against Duke, unfortunately. But one guy that didn't do anything against Duke was Chris Bell. He had no recorded stats in 11 minutes.
Terrible.
We were nice, and we decided to not record bad stats such as turnovers or fouls because he recorded some of those, but no good stats were recorded by Chris Bell. So very, very disappointing. Some notes from this game is that we tried 4 guys at the small forward position, and literally none of them worked. We tried Bell, we tried Benny, we tried Quadir Copeland, and we tried Justin Taylor, and they all played horrible, which is just not good. We can't win a game when all of our forwards are playing terribly.
Yeah, like that. It's just sad we played this bad against a mid-Duke team. I mean, this is the worst I've seen Duke in years. So like that, you think maybe this year we could beat them, but unfortunately the team really struggled. And Chris Bell, like we said, didn't do anything to contribute to the game. And we were down so much that walk-on Nico Ruffin actually was into the game for 1 minute. So congrats to Nico. He got a little bit of playing time, but not a good game at all for Syracuse.
I tweeted this on Twitter. I said, the game is over when Nico Ruffin enters the game. So overall, very, very disappointing. But it wasn't our worst game of the week. Our worst game of the week is an eyesore of a performance versus Clemson. Syracuse lost. The final score was 91-73, and Syracuse is now 16-12 overall and 9-8 in ACC play. So not that great of a year for the Syracuse Orange.
Player of the game against Clemson was Judah Mintz. He literally carried the team. I mean, Judah was playing great out there, but he did not have much help at all. He had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and he was 4 from 4 at the 3-point line, and he played 37 minutes. So he was hitting them threes, which is really great to see. He seems to be getting better shooting 3-pointers, so love to see that improvement. Some other stats, we have Jesse Edwards with 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and he played 36 minutes. Joe Girard had 11 points, 2 rebounds, and played 29 minutes.
Chris Bell had 7 points, 3 rebounds in 19 minutes. Malik Brown had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 block in 16 minutes. And Benny Williams had 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal in 26 minutes. So Benny played bit more than he's been playing during this game, which was interesting. Still, 9 points isn't that great. So, another mid-game from Benny.
Some notes from the game. Jesse was non-existent in the first half. He only had 1 point going into halftime. And Benny's defense was horrible. He kept leaving guys wide open. And I wanted to mention this. I saw someone did an interview with a Clemson player, and they said basically it was so easy to shoot threes against Syracuse because they would leave the guys wide open. It was so easy to move the ball and be open for 3. I mean, that is just so sad when the opposing players are saying that about the team. Like, something needs to change with that.
Exactly. They actually need to try on defense. And another note from this game is that for some reason, and I don't know why, but Quadir Copeland kept shooting and missing, which is a real shocker there, honestly. But he had, I think, 3 field goal attempts in a row, and Jesse had like 1 at the time, and Quadir just kept shooting, which made no sense whatsoever. But whatever, I guess. That's not going to win us games, but not like we're going to win anyways. But on the positive side of Syracuse basketball, center William Patterson committed to us. He is 7'2" and a center who has drawn comparison to Pascal Chukwu. So hopefully he can be good for us, and we'll see what he brings next year because he's our only recruit so far for the class of 23.
Another recruit, Demarius Owens, chose to go to Marquette over Syracuse and Virginia Tech. Owens was a 6'8" small forward in the 2024 class, and he was a 3-star recruit. So it's unfortunate he didn't come to Syracuse, but I can't say I really blame him. I mean, considering how we've been playing this season, he's probably thinking, yikes, I want to win some games, so probably shouldn't go to Syracuse.
At least he didn't choose Virginia Tech. At least we won't have to play against him twice a year. That's my thing.
True.
All right, the next segment we're going to talk about is still Syracuse basketball related, and it is Adam Weitzman's pocket. So the script says it, and I'm just going to read it how it is. Daddy Adam Weitzman needs to give us daddy's money in order for us to have a chance of getting good players. there's a high chance that Judah either leaves for the NBA draft or for a different school, and that would really
Yep.
hurt us. If he stayed at Syracuse, he could develop a three-point shot way more. We've seen it more recently that he's been shooting the ball a little bit better, but he's not an NBA prospect, I don't think, without a three-point shot. And we have guys like GMAC and Adrian Autry and Coach Griff that could really help him develop that three-point shot. So I
Hmm.
really think that Daddy Adam Weitzman needs to give us Daddy's money in order for us to even have any chance of having good players. And he needs to give Judah a bag, because if he doesn't, he's going to leave. And then we'd be lucky to win 5 games next year. So, Adam
Literally.
Weitzman, please give Judah some money to stay. We really need him on the team.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into NBA All-Star Weekend. So we have a couple of segments surrounding that. So first, for the competitions during All-Star Weekend, Mac McClung won the dunk contest. Damian Lillard won the three-point contest.
And Team Giannis won the All-Star game with the MVP being Jason Tatum. He had 55 points, which is the most in All-Star game history. So big congrats to Jason Tatum. Great player. He was doing a lot on the court there. So great work by Tatum.
You love to see that. It was a really good game for him, and like that 55 in the All-Star game. I mean, who does that? Come on. All right, now we're going to do a segment that we've been doing recently, but we've really liked doing it, so we're going to continue to do it. It is Drip or Drop, and it is All-Star Game or All-Star Weekend Drip or Drop. So this time, Emal is going to talk about the drips, and I'm going to talk about the drops, but obviously we'll still like discuss it all. But Emal, why don't we get into the first fit?
All right, so for drip, we have Josh Giddey. His fit, I really like. The fur coat is very nice, and the color of it is really nice as well. And like that, he went more simple with the black underneath, but the different like textures and stuff really looks nice together. The sunglasses, his hair is looking good. Overall, really like this fit from Josh.
Yeah, I like the black undershirt, like Emal said, and the little chain that he's got there really complements it well.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that he went with his team colors, OKC blue. He got that blue jacket on, and the shades really complement it all. So overall, great fit, Mike. Josh Giddey, great fit. The first drop is, like we talked about a little bit ago, the NBA dunk contest champion, Mac McClung. It is a drop, and I said this to Ema, and I think she would probably agree. The sweater looks like something an 80-year-old grandma would wear. Ema, what are you thinking about this fit?
Yeah. This reminded me something like an old librarian would wear or something. And he's got like a necklace on, and it's not like a chain or something drippy. It's like one of those flower necklaces that like the Visco girls are wearing. So interesting sense of style from him, but it's not my cup of tea. I think I would have went a little bit more dressy, but we had to give him a
Exactly.
drop.
That was horrible. Horrible fit, Mr. McClung. All right, the next
Yeah, he's
drip,
got to up
Ema,
his game.
is
Jaren Jackson Jr. I mean, look at this fit.
what a
That
fit.
jacket is so cool. It's giving like Eskimo vibes. And I like the hood and like all the fur around it. And I think the gray is really nice. I feel like people either do black or white, but I really like the gray. It looks good on him.
Yeah, I like how he like covered his face with like the, I don't know what it is, like the mask type of thing. I don't know. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah,
fur coat just really pops. And for his first All-Star game, Triple J is showing us how to dress. So good job, Trip.
definitely.
Definitely a drip. The next drop is Nikola Jokic. Now,
Oh, this
you guys
one's
probably
bad.
know we are not fans of Jokic. We don't particularly care for him, but we don't choose favorites for drip or drop. It's if you have a good fit, you drip. If you have a bad fit, you drop. And in this case, Jokic had a
Exactly.
terrible, terrible fit. I mean, what is the suit? It looks literally terrible. I mean, yeah, it's matching, but that's like not All-Star Weekend appropriate. And to boot, I just noticed this, but the turtleneck underneath is not a look. So Nikola
Mm-mm.
Jokic, horrible. Emo, do you have anything to say about this one?
Yeah, I think the pattern's a little bit too much. And if I were him, I maybe would have added like a chain or something. But with the turtleneck, we really don't like that, and it's just kind of plain around the neck. Just not a great fit overall.
Nikola Jokic drop. The next drip email is
Shea, he always has a drip. Like, look at that jacket. I mean, that's a big statement, but he is rocking it, and he's got a big chain there. His hair's looking good. You know, his shoes match the jacket. Overall, well put together. I love this fit personally.
Yeah, literally, he's showing Giddy how to dress too. You know, Giddy had the fur coat. Shea's got the fur
Yeah.
coat. Shea's really giving him that good advice. And in my opinion, Shea is hands down the best dressed NBA player. It's not even close. I mean, his fits are always so good. So, Shea,
Facts.
keep it up. You're always drippy. So, you love to see that. The next drop is Lauri Markkanen. All right. This looks like a just horrible fit. It looks like something like a dad would wear. And for it being
Yeah.
his first All-Star game, and like the All-Star game was in Utah and he plays for the Jazz, I thought we'd see something maybe a little more flashy. But no, we didn't. And Lauri Markkanen deserves a drop. I mean, what are you wearing, brother? That's an interesting outfit.
Yeah. The colors are not good. Like the brown and stuff, and it looks like old. I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah,
fan of it.
exactly. I agree. It looks like an old fit. All right, the
Looks like
next
something in
drip.
the back of my dad's closet. Jaden
Literally.
Ivey. I really like this. The matching jacket and pants are super cool, and like I love the colors and the little pop of orange in the shoes, and I also like the beanie. He's looking
I
good.
agree. Yeah, Jaden Ivey, another rookie, great fit. I mean, really just the whole thing looks good together. I mean, if I were to change one thing, maybe the shoes, maybe like a pink or a blue, but still the orange
Hmm.
works with the pattern of the jacket and the pants. But overall, Jaden Ivey, great fit. I really love to see that. The next
Hmm.
drop is Paolo Banchero, switching from a good rookie to a bad rookie. Emo, let's talk about this one. When I first saw this fit, I said, that sweater has got to be so itchy. I mean, it just looks like itchy, like I'm getting itchy just
Hmm.
looking at him.
Yeah.
And the pants are okay, but the shoes, what are you doing with the shoes? They're literally a bright green. It doesn't match anything with the fit. It's not like they're a
Uh-huh.
Jordan or anything. They're just like a normal shoe. I don't know. They look weird, but Paulo, what are you doing, brother?
Yeah, and that bag looks kind of weird too. Just overall,
Literally.
not a big fan of that fit.
That's why it deserves
Yeah,
a
definitely a
drop.
drop.
Emo, the next drip is
Anthony Edwards. So his fit is not as fancy as some of the other guys, but still, I really like it. He's got the cool jacket, you know, repping the Timberwolves, you know, and like that, just a nice graphic tee with some cool jeans and just some sneakers. I mean, I feel like this is just a normal outfit, but it still looks good enough to wear to the All-Star game, and it matches really well. So I honestly do like this fit. I would wear something like that.
exactly like that. He's paying homage to Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves. That's his team. KG played for the Timberwolves, so you love to see that. And Emo, I don't know if you noticed, but on his wrist right there, he's got a little rolly. So
Oh, I didn't notice
still,
that, but
still bringing out the accessories, but keeping it a
mm-hmm.
little minimalistic. But overall, Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, definitely drip. Good job with that fit.
Mm-hmm.
The next drop is Giannis. Kind of like we said with Jokic, the turtleneck is not it whatsoever.
No.
Why are you wearing a turtleneck? First of all, okay, you're an NBA player. First of all, why would you wear a turtleneck at all? Second of all, it's All-Star weekend, so why would you pull out the turtleneck during All-Star weekend? Yes, I'm going to pull out a turtleneck during All-Star weekend. No, no, you leave the turtleneck in the back of the closet, okay? You pull out
Mm-hmm.
something cool. Giannis, you were on the sideline during the celebrity game. This is your coaching fit? Are you kidding me? You couldn't have gone with anything better to coach with? Instead, you pull out the turtleneck? What are you
That's what I
doing?
was thinking. Like
Horrible
he's one
fit.
of the like captains of the team, so you thought he'd go big and
Exactly.
bold, but he literally is looking like a substitute teacher. Like, the
Like that.
turtleneck is not it.
And like that, yes, he's the captain of Team Giannis for the All-Star game, but still, it doesn't matter what event you are. You bring the drip to every event. Like, you're
Exactly.
coaching the celebrity game. Bring out a suit and tie. Literally pull out a polo. A polo would have been better than this, Giannis. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Overall, Giannis, just terrible. And that is
Might be one
all
of the
of
worst ones.
the dripper drops for this episode. So overall, a lot of good fits, but a lot of terrible fits as well.
Moving on with some more NBA news, we have Miles Leonard signed a 10-day contract with the Bucks. So that's interesting, but good for him.
Yeah, we know what happened in his past. Hopefully he can bring his NBA career back. So 10-day contract with the Bucks. Good luck with him with that. Some buyouts that we have. Kevin Love reached a buyout with the Cavs and decided to sign with the Miami Heat. So, Emal, I know
Let's
you're happy
go.
about this move.
Yes,
K-Love to the
sir.
Heat. I really think that's a good addition. And
Mhm.
another buyout that we talked about previously, unfortunately, didn't go the Heat's way. But Russell Westbrook did reach a buyout with the Jazz, and he signed with the LA Clippers, unfortunately. So he's reunited with PG in LA, back in LA still, but I don't know. I don't really like that Westbrook and LA vibe. I thought he would have been way better in Miami.
We'll see how it plays out. So, some injury updates. Unfortunately, Lonzo Ball is likely to be out for the rest of the season after dealing with that lingering knee issue. He's had 2 surgeries on his knee in 2022. So, we really hope Lonzo can make a full recovery and come back on the court. I mean, he really deserves it. I feel bad for the guy. I just want to see him get better and get on the court.
Yeah, exactly. It's just terrible. I know, like, Lonzo is a really big contributor for the Bulls.
Yep.
I really wish nothing but the best for him. I really hope he makes a full recovery. Just those ball boys have the worst luck with injuries. Lonzo now and LaMelo's always hurt, it seems. It's just very
Yeah.
unfortunate. And I was looking into it before we recorded the podcast, but there was a report and it said that doctors have never seen what they've seen on Lonzo's knee. So it must be really bad, and it's just very concerning. I mean, I hope the best for him, and hopefully they can figure out what's wrong with him and he can continue to play basketball. So our prayers go out to Lonzo, and yeah.
Definitely.
Let's talk about some prospects now. So likely number 1 overall pick in this summer's draft, Victor Wembanyama. We've been talking about him a lot recently, and it's not going to stop because he is just crazy. He was recently remeasured, and he now stands 7'5" with shoes on. This kid is going to be crazy in the NBA. Personally, going back to the Ball brothers, I really hope Charlotte gets the number 1 pick. I mean, I couldn't imagine Wembanyama and LaMelo Ball together. That'd just be crazy. But keep an eye out. Victor Wembanyama, it's a name you're going to be hearing a lot. He is
Definitely
the real deal. I mean, 7'5". How can you guard that?
Yeah, can't wait to see him play. That will be interesting for sure.
Exactly.
We got to do a quick Super Bowl recap. I know probably everyone knows who won the Super Bowl, but Kansas City Chiefs won. The Eagles lost, unfortunately. The final score was 38-35, so quite a close game. So Patrick Mahomes ended up getting his ankle injured again, which was already injured. And there's been talk and people suspecting that there's possible drug use maybe in halftime because, you know, his ankle was hurt. He was looking like he was in a lot of pain. And then he comes out of halftime playing with a smile on his face. It just seems like maybe something was given to him for the pain. Not sure if that's true or not, but, you know, if that is true, it's really not fair to the other team. Like, injuries happen and stuff, but drugs aren't allowed in the NFL or any sport, so
it's a part of
exceptions shouldn't
sports
be
getting
made.
hurt.
Exactly. That's why there's backup quarterbacks. But Jalen Hurts played great. In my opinion, he was the best player on the field.
No doubt.
He's just a great player, and I think definitely in the future he'll get a ring. He 100% deserves one. The refs really seem to favor Kansas City, which is always unfortunate, but It happens. It's how sports are. And the game was decided by a holding call that was against James Bradbury. And the call was terrible, in our opinion. But
Yeah,
overall,
exactly.
a close game, lots of talent on both teams. So congrats, Kansas City, on the win.
Yeah, talking about the Bradbury situation, after the game, he said, yeah, I held him, but it wasn't like game altering. Like it shouldn't have been
Right.
called. I mean, it's the Super Bowl. Like let the guys play. You don't need to be throwing penalties out there and like that. If you want to really go dive deep into it, all right, that Bradbury call was a hold apparently. All right, let's go back into the first half when I think it was Devonta Smith had that
Yes, it was.
catch and it wasn't a catch, but it literally was. Like it was so obvious and they overturned it. That was terrible. And then the Bradbury situation. So really, if you want to talk about deciding the game, the referees won the game. So
Yeah,
congratulations,
exactly.
ref. You won the game for KC. It was just terrible. Between the Bradbury thing and the Devonta Smith thing, that literally won the Chiefs the game.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to it, Kermit the Frog, aka Patrick Mahomes, won Super Bowl MVP. The Gatorade color was purple, which was the least amount of votes or like bets, whatever, however you want to say it. It was the least likely, so that was interesting that it was purple. And I'm sure all Andy Reid was thinking about was eating a cheeseburger because it seems like that's all that's on his mind. And I don't know if you've looked at him, but you could tell by the way that he looks. So, Andy Reid,
Yeah, definitely
go eat
had
your stupid
some celebration
cheeseburgers.
cheeseburgers, I'm sure. A little bit of MLB news. The Was he on the Mets last year? Or
He was, where did he play? I think he went overseas, but he was on the Mets 2019.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Rene Rivera, former Mets player, has announced his retirement. We had a lot of interactions with him when he was in Syracuse. He was always such a nice player, really good player. So we wish him the best retirement. We'll definitely miss seeing him play, but we wish him
Yep,
the best.
definitely. Good luck, Arthia. We'll miss you.
Yeah.
All right, so going into our special segments of the week. So usually I do one chump of the week, but since we haven't done a weekly episode in a little bit, this week it is a team of chumps. So they're all college basketball players, and there is a starting five of chumps this week. So the first chump is NC State's large and in charge center, DJ Burns Jr. First of all, he is a chump because he acted like one, and he obnoxiously wagged his finger when he fouled out against Syracuse. He did one of these, like, oh, like, you fouled out, just deal with it. And it was very
Exactly.
annoying, and I don't like him. So he's a chump of the week. The second chump is Kyle Filipowski. He was very aggressive towards Jesse Edwards, and overall just a loser. So, second chump of the week. The next one is again from Duke. We have Dariq Whitehead. He has a interesting looking mustache, which is scary and it looks terrible. And he is another person who has a very kickable face. But let me clarify, not worse than Kihei Clark. Kihei Clark still has the most kickable face in the world, but Dariq Whitehead is a close second. The fourth chump is Hunter Tyson. He killed Syracuse. Looks like a 40-year-old dad who makes too many dad jokes. Seems very annoying and was very annoying to play against. So I don't know, Hunter Tyson, change your appearance. I mean, you look like a 40-year-old dad in your 20s and playing college basketball. So do something about it. And the last chump of the week, no surprise to anybody, should be Benny Williams. And that one's pretty self-explanatory, so I won't even go into depth on that one because it'll make me very upset. My take of the week this week is that Syracuse will win one more game this season, and it's against Georgia Tech. So I really think that they're going to not do well at the end of the year like they've been and only win one more game, which would be Georgia Tech. So that's my take of the week this week.
All right. My show and tell item. It might be a little bit hard to see, but this is a Boston Celtics little baseball hat. It is difficult to see because the embroidering of the logo is also green. But I got this hat last year, I believe, and I really like the Celtics. They're definitely one of my favorite teams, and like that. Jason Tatum, phenomenal player. I really thought of this item because of him getting MVP for the All-Star game. I mean, 55 points, out here breaking records, and just love Jason Tatum. And also, I love his kid, Deuce. Like, if you don't like Deuce, what is wrong with you? He is so cute, and he's just so funny to watch. His interactions with different players. And like that, the Celtics got other good players I really like Jaylen Brown. And when I got this hat last year, they had Taco Fall on their team. He's one of my favorite NBA players, so little shout out there. But that is the show and tell item this week.
Yeah, congratulations to Deuce's dad on the MVP All-Star game. And yeah, we love Deuce. And Jason, stop disrespecting Uncle JB. Uncle JB can watch Deuce any day. Well, other than that, that's pretty much it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, our social media links will be in the description, as always, and we'll have more episodes coming out soon. I know we have an interview stashed away, and we have a few more interviews that we're going to be doing in the next coming weeks, so be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for our weekly episodes, like always, every Saturday. Emal, do you have anything to add to this outro?
Nothing I can think of. Just like, follow, subscribe. We appreciate
the normal
self-promotions, you know?
Exactly. But other than that, that's it for this episode. So we're out.